All right, and welcome back to Turn Zero, the premier show to up your game with Star Wars Legion by setting you up for success before your minis even hit the table. This week, we are back with our red and our blue, our Team 1 and Team 2, our Rebels and Imperials, to go through the Turn Zero time. We've settled on the lists. We've gone over them over the last 2 weeks. On the Rebel side, we've got an Operative Luke, Cassian, all the DLTs you can think of, facing up against an Imperial tank, all the officers you can think of, and a couple of guys who just wanted to get their money's worth out of that specialist pack of core troopers. So here we go. We compared it. The Rebels came in at 786. They won the bid. Nick and Josh, will you be taking blue or red player?
We will be taking blue players, sir.
Awesome.
We bid for blue. We're taking blue.
Surprise, everyone.
Awesome. Thank you.
We said we weren't going to outbid Rebels at 15 points, and look what happened.
You would have.
Awesome. Okay, so map is coming up on the screen. Blue side, talk about your table edge choice here.
I think I'm leaning toward the top here. I like the layout of the line of sight blocking pieces at the top. Josh, what do you think?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is for me, if you look at the very center of that palm tree, if you look at 9 o'clock from it, you have that, what it looks like a little bit longer than range 1 boxes that should give a lot of line of sight blocking terrain for Luke. We also have a lot of objectives or deployments that are going the length of the battlefield. We take top.
Awesome. I love it when a plan comes together that quickly and easily, too.
Well,
All
Nick
right.
built the table, so he better know which side is the good one.
That's true.
I have a gift.
He really does. He really does. You know what? I appreciate the nice even layout of the grid there too. So, all right, blue team is taking the top. Rebels are going to start up there, and with that, we are looking at some battle cards. Coming up on the screens, we are starting off with the objectives at key position, sabotage, and payload. That payload in the number 3 spot, everyone who's been watching our show knows that is my worst nightmare. Fortunately, I'm not making the choices this time. For conditions, we've got supply drop, clear conditions, and rapid reinforcements. And finally, rollout, advanced positions, and major offensive. Kicking it over to the blue team, you've got the first veto. Are you looking at rollout and a tank across the table and saying hell no right away, or are you thinking more deeply?
Josh, what do you think?
No, I'm looking at the tank across the table and saying I don't want to play key positions.
Yeah. I'm looking at the future here, though. I'm okay with supply drop and clear conditions. So I'm really looking at eliminating key positions probably right away. And probably maybe looking into the future a little bit and getting rid of rollout with our second cut. Because advanced positions and major offensive are much better for our army. So, but yeah, with Josh, let's cut key positions right away.
All right, key positions is down. Nice, fast, and easy decisions, just like you'd have to make at the table, folks. Kicking it over to the red team, Matan and Mike, you guys have that tank. What are you going to be looking for?
Well, starting off, it looks a lot like our battle deck minus supply drop. So we're actually not super unhappy with the battle deck. We just see a good thing we didn't bid. That would have been a huge waste.
Yeah, we got the same deck we were going to bid for anyway.
None of you wanted bombing run. I can tell you that from sitting through both the conversations.
Yeah, obviously we'd want key positions. Obviously they'd want to cut it. Mm-hmm. Looking at the rest of the things, I don't like Cassian and Luke with supply drop personally. That's just something that the rebel lists are salviating looking at supply drop, and we're really not. So, and we want to force them to have to cut rollout. So my initial reaction is cut supply drop.
Yeah, 100%. Expensive, powerful hero pieces and clone troopers, because it's their entire freaking army, love supply drop because it gives them the boost that they don't have to pay for, and it's actually giving us something that we tried to pay for with our with our repair droids and our officers. So let's cut that away and make sure that they're not getting things for free that we didn't have to.
Awesome. Makes a ton of sense. So our number 1 cards and our objective and our conditions are off the table. We're coming back to blue, and your choices are cutting VAPs, clear conditions, or rollout. What are you guys thinking at this point?
I'm leaning toward cutting rollout. I don't really want to give the tank extra space to deploy. And advanced positions is, giving Luke a scout move is excellent. Getting the DLTs into a position early. and Sabotage the Moisture Evaporators favors blue, so it's on them to cut that. What do you think, Josh?
Yeah, I think the same thing here. Sab really favors us, especially because they're going to have to move. I don't think payload is bad for us, but payload doesn't hurt them more than Sab helps us, so I'm not going in that direction. Clear conditions and rapid, they seem pretty neutral here, so I'm going to cut rollout and go towards advanced positions as well. I don't mind if they cut advanced positions and go to major offensive either.
Makes a ton of sense. Nice clean cut down the first column for everything. We're coming back to red for the final veto. You guys are looking at deciding between sabotage and payload, between clear and rapid, or between advanced and major offensive. What do you want? What are you afraid of?
If you don't mind, I'm going to get this one started. I personally think I'm cutting advanced positions for major offensive because I don't mind playing sabotage with having a tank that's going to have 2 to 3 aims shooting into white saves for a bunch of units that have to walk forward. And with major offensive, that evaporator is really only going to be range 3 from us. Like, I'm going to shoot you when you step to that evaporator, and then the pendulum's going to swing over the course of the game. If we do decide to cut to payload, the way that this map is laid out, there's a lot of lanes that Operative Luke can actually get to us. And if we're forcing the action to converge at one point, we don't want to give Luke an incentive to come with us. If Luke's going to come at us, I want him away from his objectives, not with it. So, at least to my opinion, cutting advanced positions to get to major offensive gives us some great lines to kind of circumvent that line of sight blocking cover that the top side has, get the tank into the range 4, range 3 shot at that open evaporator, and really push blue to then come at us, because Cassian's going to be chipping at the tank with that Pierce gun.
And I wanted to add one additional thing, that advanced positions in sabotage is sort of a scary thing, right? It really opens up the table a lot more for very safe sabotage plays. If we're going to be pushing against them and they're going to be winning right as soon as the game starts, we want them to have a little bit farther pushed in evaporators. We don't want them kind of hiding in the corner. They get the free scout move right up to it. So I 100% agree on cutting advanced.
Awesome. And there we have it. That is a turn 0, folks. We have landed on sabotage, the moisture evaporators, clear conditions, and major offensive. If you bought your priority supplies, you are ready to play this game. That was a that was a nice, straightforward. Coming into this game, before we're sitting down for deployment, blue team, how are you feeling coming into it?
Feel okay.
What? Cool. Red team.
Nothing changes. We're going to win.
I think one of the things that really helped us out was picking board edge here. And despite having to move out towards the evaporators, I think that those boxes sitting right there really help us out, blocking off a lot of their shots. And I think that's the major advantage for us going into it.
It's going to help Luke get into good positions too. The top there.
What are you thinking strategy-wise as far as placing your VAPs? Are there any specific locations you're trying to put them, or try to box something out? How are you setting yourself up for success for a strategy coming into deployment?
Why don't you take that, Josh?
So I may not have the gift to visualize major offensive here, but I think if you look at the boxes at 9 o'clock, I'm going to put a evaporator behind the one that's double stacked, and then likely I'm going to put one at the top behind that shed.
Yep.
That's what is that, at 1 o'clock from it?
Yep.
I think those are the two best spots that give me a lot of cover. Maybe I'm going to put one near the downed U-wing, but looking top down right here, I don't really have a good view on whether that's a good spot or not.
Awesome.
So it could keep us out in the open. So
that's great. Thank you so much. Kicking it over to the red side, where are you guys going to drive that big beastly tank and your spraying flamethrowers like it's a Fury Road?
So, okay, I feel pretty good about this. I'm not going to lie. You do have that really nice, safe evaporator position behind the crates there, like you talked about at 9 o'clock. But the other ones, and I'm looking at some of these like blue angle deployment zones, looks pretty open. And it looks to be a spot that I can get that tank out there, and I'm going to hit the first thing that you tap there with 2 to 3 aims, knowing that I'm going last with the 11 activations. So I feel pretty confident going into it that we can force something early. and make you then come to us, and all of a sudden it's going to turn into more of that tactical chess match instead of you're sitting there waiting.
Mm-hmm.
And for putting the Vaporators, Ton, if you're looking at our deployment zone
Right.
there, are you putting one behind the giant structure on the right? I think yes, because the only one that's going to threaten it is Cassian, and if he infiltrates there, I'm just dropping the tank in front of him.
Yeah, that's a no-brainer. Like, drop the tank. Even the Flamer Snow could probably one-shot Cassian almost. Like, that'd be a great target. I definitely want to keep one of them well hidden, and I would like to have one that's going to be kind of on our natural angle where we're going to be going up. So that's definitely would be that I concur on that one.
Yeah, and then the other one's going to kind of depend on where they put their second VAP, because with Major Offensive, you are going to get zoned out a little bit with the fourth VAP placement.
Mm-hmm.
So ideally, I'd like to put it behind one of those crates that's kind of on the right side in the angle of approach that we were talking about.
Right.
But that's a little hard to theorize without knowing where the other three are going to be on the table already. There's a lot of variation.
Yeah, I don't want to go that far. Obviously, we have a couple of different places we could put it. We could if they're more aggressive, that's not necessarily bad for us either.
Mm-hmm.
So that seems good.
Awesome. Well, we don't have the time to watch this grudge match play out over it, but I'm sure that one of these days we'll get that done. If you want to play a lot of Legion coming up soon, there is a waiting list now for Invader League signups. If you're interested and you haven't gotten on there, be sure that you sign up because we do go through those wait lists. You're going to see a lot of the faces that are on your screen right now playing in it or supporting it in some capacity or the other. Gentlemen, any final thoughts for this list or for what's going on?
Yeah, I would be excited to actually play this game. I think I commented that like a gun line is something that we actually wanted to see across from us versus like a bunch of Wookiees or Mandas or T-47s. So I got my wish, and I'd like to see if I'm going to eat my cake or if it's going to be poisoned.
We definitely were like we were hard betting that this was not going to be every single unit has jump. And the tank just shoots at a naked rebel trooper twice and just gives up, right? So this is more of our ideal. Okay, if you want to use those expensive DLT rip troopers, they're going to be in range of us. We get to exchange fire, right? So that's something that's a big plus. I'm not looking forward to Luke. Luke is one of the Luke plus the tank is not a fun combination. Plus with Cassian sort of whittling it down a little bit. That being said, if Cassian needs to spend every single turn shooting the tank and we get to heal up a couple of wounds, it's not the end of the world. And then the real kicker here is going to be whether they took Serve Your Master Well or not, because snows and shores are really nice targets for that. If they did take it, that'd be an ideal target. That's going to keep us from, I think, throwing the snows just up as far as possible, because that could be a very easily like swapped on us, a forced move, forced shoot with flamethrower and grenades. So that will keep the snows a little farther back than we probably would have done otherwise.
I'm really glad you brought that up, because we actually last week had a good conversation around whether or not to include both you serve your master well, and also the whether or not, if we weren't going to include it, keeping Jedi Mind Trick and going for D for bid. So that's
Did they take it?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Yeah.
I wouldn't. Hey, we've said our piece, man.
That's a good point.
All right,
Going over.
I'm going to rewind the tape and figure it out.
Well, the fun part is our audience knows the answer to that as we're having this conversation. So, any parting thoughts from the blue team?
Good luck.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Good luck.
No, this was fun. Good luck in Invader League, everyone.
That's right.
Sign up and give Keegan and I more groups to judge.
Yes.
We need it.
Yeah, we and only sign up once. Remember. For turn 0, this has been Keegan Evans. I've been joined by Josh, Mike, and Nick, and of course one of our favorite guests, Matan. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Let us know how you like the new format. Let us know who you think is going to win this grudge match in the forums or in the comments, and we'll talk to you all soon.